for a UNCW. Starting guard, number 10, Hannah Dawson. Starting guard, number 13, Jaden Cavadias. Starting guard, number 22, Sarah Evans. Starting at center, number 35, Layla Stark. Starting at power forward, number 45, Camille Davis.
Good job.
And now for your BCC Dolphins.
Now we got my one.
Starting at guard, number 4, Chelsea Rivera. Starting guard, number 11, Maya Glenn. Starting at forward, number 13, Jonte Douglas. Starting guard, number 15, Diana Williams. And starting guard, number 20, Talia Starr. The Dolphins are coached by Joe Dahlhagen and he is assisted by Andy Mercer. Thank you. Play ball.
Howdy, howdy, everybody. Chris Shima, glad to be with you for a second of a back-to-back this weekend for the Brunswick Dolphins, who come in at 1-2. Today they host UNC Wilmington's club team. And you heard the starting lineup. So Dolphins coming off that 83-43 loss yesterday against 18th-ranked Bryan and Stratton. Bobcats were hot in that game. They shot 59%. They forced 25 Dolphins turnovers. Brunswick, on the flip side, had just 5 steals in that game as well. Amaya Glenn was the lone player in double figures yesterday with 11 points. And Shante Douglas, who's about ready to tip it up with Camilla Davis, she had 7 points and 8 boards. So Dolphins, a little bit of a different game today against a club team. And we'll talk a little bit about what that means here, as the tip is controlled by Brunswick. So it's Starling, it's Williams, it's Rivera, Glenn, and Williams to start things off here for Brunswick. Williams down low, a couple of nice fakes, but she traveled with the basketball. So, again, turnovers are going to be the key here today for Brunswick. Got to take better care of the basketball than they did yesterday. And right there, first possession, and they started off with a turnover. So, Jaden Cavadias into the front court. Here is Isla Stark. And now Hannah Dawson for 3, way off, and the rebound controlled by Rivera. Rivera quickly into the forecourt. Dolphins have struggled from the three-point line, but Shante Douglas wide open, and the scoring party starts with Brunswick taking a 2-0 lead. So Douglas gets the first bucket. Good game yesterday, averaging close to a double-double on the season, 9.3 points per ball game, 10.7 boards as well. That shot goes in and out for Cavadias. So UNC Wilmington, the club team is 0 for 2 here at the start. Williams on the right side. Johnston Community College was supposed to be the opponent. This was supposed to be a Region 10 game this weekend, as Douglas goes 2 for 2. So Douglas 4 and UNC Wilmington zip. In the corner, Davis. Opening 90 seconds. Davis got turned around, swings it out. Hannah Dawson buries a 2-pointer, I believe. There was no signal for a 3. The scoring table was lost like me, but it is a 2-pointer. So Dawson gets Wilmington on the board. Now here is Starling on the wing. Gets a screen, swings it over to Williams. Williams for 3. 3-point shooting for Brunswick has not been a strong suit at the start of the season. This will be a good game to kind of work out some of those issues. Another turnover as Rivera's pass was tipped. And Cavadias to the bucket, can't score. Ball tipped over to Evans. That's Sarah Evans, and then it's stripped back by Brunswick. So Douglas making an impact for the Dolphins here in the early going. First offensively, scoring all 4 points, and then you saw it there defensively. Rivera goes to Glenn, Amaya Glenn. Toss to Williams on the wing. Glenn now in the corner. Shot clock at 10. Glenn attacks, got tied up. It trickles over to Douglas, and she's got all 6 for Brunswick. Shantae Douglas is eating good here on a Sunday evening. And Brunswick leads by 3. We're about 3 minutes into this one. So Cavadias walks it into the forecourt. Glenn on her. Stark. It's swung back over. Cavadias. The long jumper grazes the front rim. Stark's got the rebound and another steal. Here is Glenn into the forecourt. Toss over to Starling. Fakes the 3. The runner. Trickles off. Douglas, the putback. Yes! All 8 for Douglas here at the start. So Shantae Douglas crashing the glass. We saw a bit of that yesterday against that very good Bryan and Stratton team, who, by the way, they lost at Cape Fear earlier today by 6. So the Sea Devils handling their business, beating the 18th ranked Bobcats. Bit of a surprise. I mean, Cape Fear's, they're always in the mix, so they always have really, really good teams. Pull up by Cavadias is good, and it's 8-4 now. Dolphins doubling up this UNC Wilmington club team. Williams on the far side. Kaya Starling attacks over 2 players, and it's deflected off UNC Wilmington. First sub of the game is Destiny Mitchell. And some changes for UNC Wilmington club team as well. Do they have a coach? Maybe one of the players is a coach. Very interesting. Number 11, Kayla Robertson is in for them. Number 24 is Amy Evans. Here's a 3 by Glenn. Douglas is there again. Count it, and the foul. She has all 10 for Brunswick. And a chance now to make it 11 at the free throw line. Holy cow. So a club team. So this is not like D2s, D3s, NAIAs. A lot of them have JV teams. And those are players who are trying to work themselves up to the, to the varsity. That's not what this is. A club team at a bigger D1 school is usually comprised of players who, played in high school, wanted to go to a bigger school, didn't want the D1 or didn't want to go the small college route. And, they pay their dues and they play. There's actually a whole club league. NC State has a club team, for example. A lot of bigger schools do. Here in Ohio, Columbus, or in Columbus, Ohio State has club sports. A lot of, like I said, the bigger D1 programs do have that. And, it's mainly for players who just kind of want to get some run in, keep in shape, do those kinds of things, play out a couple more years maybe. So that's what we're looking at here today. These two teams did play once before back in 22. In February of 2022, Brunswick beat UNC Wilmington's club team 79-45. Just to kind of give you a gauge of how these games usually go. Dolphins led that one 39-18 at the half and kind of cruised from there. They shot 45% in that game back in 2022. So just a little background, and, in case you were wondering, okay, well, who exactly is this opponent? Nearing the midway point, 11-4, and it's all 11 by Shantae Douglas. Starling is going to inbound. She's still in the game, by the way. Gets it into Glenn. Destiny Mitchell, I said yesterday, played in her first game. She's played in all 4 now for Brunswick. Dolphins lost by 40 yesterday, and I think our broadcast lost by 40 as well. It was not one of our better efforts. My better efforts, I should say. So, yeah, Destiny Mitchell first off the bench for Joe Gaughan. I think we have another sub. And we'll set the 5 for UNC Wilmington's club team here. It's Cavadias and Amy Evans in the backcourt. Mallory Hurst, number 33, top of the key with it here. Number 11 is Robertson. And I'm missing somebody. Jumper no good. And a rip away there by Robertson to force the jump ball. Wait, is it Brunswick's ball or whose ball is it? Okay, so we're staying with UNC Wilmington. And now we're going to take a timeout. Oh, boy. Okay. Let's step aside. 4:35 left to play here in this first quarter. Dolphins with a good start. They lead by 7. As always, a big thanks to our friends at Coastal Transplants, sponsor of the Dolphins program. Chris Sheeman back here with you at the home studio in Cleveland, Ohio. Brunswick Dolphins playing the second of a back-to-back here, and off to a good start. Well, Shawntae Douglas is off to a great start. She's got all 11 points for Brunswick right now. Starling drives in. Glenn over to Mitchell. And Mitchell misses the 3. Rebound controlled by Reese Baldwin, who was that 5th player I forgot to mention before the timeout for UNC Wilmington. Kamia Davis gets on the board. First bucket for her, 11-6, Dolphins by 5. Williams over to Starling. Glenn steps left, just inside the arc. The rainbow shot goes in and out. Rebound controlled by Davis. Pass thrown ahead to Baldwin. Pull up by Evans. And the rebound by Starling. Starling looking to push. Open look for Glenn for 3. Offensive rebound by Williams, and the putback is good. That is the first bucket from somebody other than Douglas, and it's 13-6 Brunswick, leading by 7. Baldwin couldn't get it to go. Some nice defense there by Douglas, who's calling for it out ahead of the pack, and the pass was a little bit off the mark. That'll bring Sarah Evans back in the game for UNC Wilmington. .302 left to play here in this opening quarter. Dolphins game 2 of a 7-game homestand. We'll be with you again on Sunday. Next Sunday against Fayetteville Tech. It's a 5 o'clock game, but that, like I said yesterday, that's an approximate time. It will be later. Mackenzie Shilliday in the game for the first time. Misses on the 3. Starling into the front court again. Out to Rivera. Princess Kennedy gets right around the defense. Too strong off the glass. Rebound by Davis. So Kennedy is in. Pull-up 3. No good by Davis. The putback down low missed by Evans. Same team. Same team, Kennedy and Mitchell. So 2 teammates forced the traveling violation there, and now it will be Hannah Dawson, who's got one of the 3 field goals for Wilmington back in the game. Nice tip there by Rivera, who comes up with the steal, and it's taken right back. Starling with some nice defense. Starling now for 3. The three-pointer's still not falling, but Kennedy is there to clean it up. Brunswick out to a 9-point lead. Inside 2 to go in the first quarter. Stepping into a triple, that is Hannah Dawson. Her foot was just inside the arc on her first bucket, so she's got 5. And she's got a lot of range. Mitchell swings it out. Here is Glenn. And the three-pointers are just not falling for the Dolphins. They, as a team, are shooting just 23% from three-point land so far in the first 3 games this season, and they are 0-4 here today. Still, a 6-point advantage. Dawson hesitates, attacks, can't score. Rebound tipped to Starling. And the shooting is one thing that'll come as these players adjust. It's little things like that. It's the turnovers that are a problem right now. You know, a lot of these players that Joe Gahan brought in, very decorated, a lot of big-time scorers in high school. So I'm not worried so much about the three-point shooting right now, but I'm worried about these turnovers. You know, with the way yesterday went, this is a team in Brunswick that should be very hungry, and this first quarter should be going much better. And credit Douglas, she came out ready to play. She's got 11 points as she sits on the bench right now, but that's more of the effort I want to see. Players diving for it. That second half against Bryan and Stratton yesterday was not good. And that fourth quarter was especially bad. The effort was just lacking. So let's see a little more intensity here from the Dolphins as Starling fires a deep one. Offensive rebound is taken away. You've got to understand that when you're a junior college player, if you plan on playing beyond these next 2 years at Brunswick, it's a 40-minute game, and there's a lot of the people who are watching these games are college coaches. They never announce themselves, but I know you all are out there. And they don't care if you're down by 40. They want to see your effort. The onus is on you. And it's just been way too many turnovers here at the start of this one today. So a 6-point lead, yes. Maybe I sound like I'm nitpicking, but again, I know what these college coaches are looking for. I know how hard it is to move up to that level. And I want to see the intensity raised a little bit more from somebody other than Shantae Douglas. That three is going to be short. Rebound chased down. Now, those kinds of rebounds are difficult on long threes that are missed like that. So the quarter comes to a close. Brunswick leads by 6, 15-9, courtesy of Shantae Douglas's 11 points. We'll step aside. We'll come back and bring you the second quarter here in just a bit. Welcome back, everybody. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you here at the home studio in Cleveland, Ohio, getting ready for second quarter action between the Dolphins and UNC Wilmington's club team, who was nice enough to help Coach Gahan fill out the schedule after some cancellations. So this is game 2 of a 7-game homestand. I alluded to this yesterday. We might have an 8th game at home. In fact, I'm hoping we do. at the beginning of January. That was another game that was supposed to be a Region 10 game that was called off due to, I think, some of the smaller schools are just struggling to get bodies. Don't know that for sure, but Cavadias is down low. Nice little active defense there by Destiny Mitchell. Gene Smith, El Presidente, is sitting down there in the blue. Can't wait to see everybody in December coming down for the Christmas tournament. Dolphins women will play a couple of games as part of the Holiday Classic on that Saturday and Sunday. So go check those games out if you can. It's a lot of fun. Very cool event. Very long weekend, but a very fun one as well. Rivera, cross court to Glenn, and Glenn can't get the runner to go. So Dolphins cold shooting here as UNC Wilmington's club team hanging around. Sarah Evans 3 rims out. Ball batted over to Baldwin, who couldn't get it. Now Rivera into the forecourt. Douglas is back in, swings it out. Open is Mitchell, and she buries it. Well, when she's not scoring, she's getting assists. Shantae Douglas with the dime. Mitchell gets her first bucket. So the Seahawks answer right back, and the lead is 6 again. Rivera, Kennedy. Princess Kennedy lost the dribble. Here is Glenn. Her pass batted, and Kennedy got grabbed on the jersey by Kavidas. First foul of the quarter. 8:20 left to go until halftime. Thanks for joining us here on this Sunday evening. Chris Shima, glad to be with you from the home studio. Thanks for hanging out with me. Rivera can't get it to go, and the Dolphins are just ice cold. Cavadias had the pass tipped by Rivera. It's recovered by Stark. Cavadias throws a rocket down low. Some contact, no whistle, as Dawson comes up empty. Here is Glenn. Douglas in the corner, dribbling out of trouble. Rivera had it, now Glenn, now Mitchell. Kennedy. Destiny, bounce pass over to Glenn for 3. Yes, finally one goes down for Brunswick. And Glenn has 5 points. 20-11, Dolphins matching the biggest lead of the game for Brunswick. UNC Wilmington's club team has not led here today.
Good job.
Stark lost the handle on it. Dolphins forcing a turnover, now a 2-on-1 here. And free throws coming for Amaya Glenn. Glenn is the leading scorer on the team, 12.3 points per ball game. 71% free throw shooter. Dolphins doing a nice job yesterday even getting to the free throw line. Hit over 70% of their free throws yesterday.
There's a cover on it, yeah. Is it the book?
Kamia Davis is back in with 2 points.
Oh, get your
Looks like just about every dead ball Wilmington is subbing in and out. Mallory Hirsch checks back in as well. Sarah Evans is out there, Hannah Dawson. And I mentioned Cavadias as well. So Glenn getting aggressive now, up to 6 points. Brunswick takes its first double-digit lead. Much better start to this second quarter for Brunswick. You see the hustle play that I was ranting about at the end of the first quarter coming to fruition on the missed free throw. Douglas can't get the shot, but it's off Davis, and it'll stay with Brunswick. So just those little things make a big difference Mitchell the inbound.
They go on you only.
Kennedy the bounce pass. Williams is out there.
You only, nothing else.
Glenn traveled with the basketball.
Only you. They do not go nowhere else. Okay, that's fine too.
So 3 minutes and 10 seconds into quarter number 2. Dolphins have built it out to 10. Cavadias,
Yeah.
and I think a traveling call there on
Trash cans down there.
Evans. So Evans the guilty party. Glenn up to 6 points, 4 of that here in the second quarter. Mitchell hands it off, and another traveling violation. It is turnover after turnover after turnover. And some of that will, when we talk about the shooting with a young all-freshman team, the speed of the game, traveling is a big part of that too. As the season goes on, you'll see those numbers start to decline. Well, you hope, if you're Joe Gaughan. Averaging 24 turnovers a game currently are the Dolphins. Cavadias up top. It's a 3 by Hurst. So a 10-point lead is now 7. We got a football score for you. Mitchell for 3. Dawson got doubled up in the corner. Cavadias into the front court. Swings it up. Davis fakes the 3. Takes it baseline, at it rejected.
Okay.
Dawson trying to get it in. Just beats the 5-second clock. Davis up top.
Good job.
And it's taken away. Nice defense there by Glenn. Glenn traveled with the basketball because she got fouled 3 times. That's a bad call.
What game are you watching?
She was. We got to calm Danielle down. But she's right. I mean, it was just a missed call. There was a lot of contact there, and trying to dribble out of a double team,
Hey, Brantley, stop.
getting fouled at the same time. That's the reason why there was a traveling call there. Hurst couldn't get the hook. The putback by Cavadias is no good. And Williams has the rebound. Starling handoff to Glenn. Glenn gets a screen from Douglas and gets free throws. I got to read this text message that came in. I think I got some people in my neighborhood watching. Kevin, the aunts and uncles for Shantae are all in Cleveland. It's my people. Where in Cleveland are you guys, Kevin? The first free throw is no good from Glenn, who's got 6 points. I mentioned 4 of those here in the quarter. And now up to 7. Speaking of Douglas, if you're just joining us, Shantae Douglas scored the first 11 points for Brunswick. Dawson gets it over to Evans, and we have another whistle. Looks like this one's going on Brunswick. So free throws coming here for Sarah Evans. Well, that's very cool. Kevin's in Lyndhurst, which is east side of Cleveland, but it sounds like the family's all scattered. Well, if y'all are ever downtown, come visit. Sarah Evans gets on the board with her first free throw. It's 22-15. And if y'all are going down to the Christmas tournament, maybe I can ride with you. I don't want to drive through Beckley in December again. Dolphins with the motion offense right now. Shot clock winding down and a whistle. Foul going to be called on Wilmington. If it is, it's their 5th. And that'll be free throws for Brunswick. So Dolphins get some bonus time here with still 4:49 to go. Last year I went down for the Brunswick for the Holiday Classic, and you got to drive down the West Virginia Turnpike. We're going to take a timeout, but I'll finish my story instead of making you guys watch commercials. So, going through Beckley, West Virginia, starting at about this time of the year and ending in about March or April is it's a crapshoot. You're gonna, and I think one of the biggest things people say to me is, oh, you must have noticed with climate change living in the Carolinas all those years. The biggest difference in climate change that I've noticed is since I've moved back to Cleveland after being gone from 12 years. It's completely different here. In fact, I think we might get our first kind of like wet snow later this week, but for the most part, it just doesn't snow like it used to. Well, it did last year when I had to make a 735-mile drive, and a blizzard started in Beckley, West Virginia, and it continued on all the way home. It was crazy. But I'm still looking forward to coming down and calling them, just hoping for better weather. Let's give you some stats here as Brunswick leads 22-15. Hannah Dawson has 5 points for UNC Wilmington's club team. I missed a bucket, so I'm missing a couple of points from somebody, but that's the leading scorer. Shantae Douglas, I mentioned, scored the first 11 in the game for Brunswick. She has been stuck on that since the first quarter. Glenn's got 7, Kennedy with 2, and Mitchell has 2. It's not been a smooth offensive game, but Dolphins are getting to the free throw line. Kaya Starling misses her first free throw. Just one team foul for Brunswick right now, so clean second quarter for the Dolphins so far. Starling is still 0-4 from the free throw line this season. Into the forecourt, Shilladay, correction, that's Robertson who couldn't get it to go. Dolphins' defense has been pretty good on the young season. They're still second in the region in blocks per game at 2.7. They've moved down to third in steals per game. They came into the weekend averaging 15 steals a game. There's one right there from Kennedy, and then Kennedy has it deflected out of bounds. But still averaging 12 steals per ball game. That's third best in Region 10. Starling now to inbound it. Williams out deep. Here is Glenn for 3. Not that time. She hit one earlier. The lone three-pointer. I want to say the Dolphins are probably about 1 of 10 from 3 here today. The shooting struggles continue, but the defensive effort, like I said, towards the end of that first quarter, I saw it lacking. It's really picking up now here in the second quarter. Defense to offense, not yet. Three-pointer's still not falling. Out on the run, Amy Evans pushing. And the bucket is good for Camilla Davis.
Yep.
Her second. She's got 4. It's a 5-point game now. Dolphins got to keep their foot on the gas here, get this back to a double-digit lead. Dolphins have led by as many as 10. Glenn was looking for a whistle, didn't get it. Douglas put back too strong, and here comes Dawson into the forecourt. Trying to further erase the lead. Jumper in the corner was no good for Amy Evans. And now here goes Douglas. Douglas had it poked away, though. Some terrific defense there by Robertson. That was a quick shot there by Baldwin. And a rush shot. Inside 3 to go. Glenn with 7 points, directing traffic for the Dolphins here. Starling back to Glenn. Williams attacks. Trickles out to Starling on a deflection. And that was as bad of a sequence as you're going to see for Brunswick. Timeout is going to be taken by UNC Wilmington's club team. With 2:27 left to go, this is just a 5-point game. We're going to step aside as well.
Oh gosh.
That's me, Chris Shima. Glad to be back with you. Dolphins offense is just not there today. Just 22 points against the club team and a carry there by Hannah Dawson out of the timeout. So 2:20 to work with. Brunswick has led by as many as 10 in this game, but it has been sloppy from an offensive standpoint today for Brunswick. Trying to even their record at 2-2. Go to 2-1 here at home. Currently 0-2 in Region 10 play. It's all Region 10 games from here on out, I believe. We'll see what if there's a rescheduled game in January, it might be different. So Dolphins got to be ready. They're going to play a very good Fayetteville Tech team on Sunday of next week. And then Cape Fear is in town to start December on the 4th after the Thanksgiving holiday. So, yeah. Big games coming up. This is supposed to be a nice tune-up game for those to kind of confidence builder, if nothing else. And right now, UNC Wilmington credit this club program giving Brunswick a game. Evans got it out to Dawson, and it is a 2-point game. Hannah Dawson has 8 of the 20 for the Seahawks. Here's Glenn into the forecourt. 8 straight points for the club program. Douglas gets it out to Williams. Here is Rivera. Glenn tossed back over to Williams. And Glenn was cutting but not looking for it. Douglas had her shot blocked, and I don't know what to say. It's back-to-back just bad offensive sequences for Brunswick there. They got lucky that it wasn't a turnover on the deflection. They do not pick up the ball, and Davis has a chance to put UNC Wilmington on top for the first time here today. Nobody picked up the ball. Ooh, I wish I could go into the locker room at halftime. I think Coach Joe's gonna handle it just fine, but whew. He does not look happy. It's not going to be a fun locker room. Glenn with the fake. She attacks. Throws it out. Williams had to save it. Back to Glenn for 3. Offensive rebound by Williams. Looking down low for Douglas. She's getting mugged down there. She got fouled 3 different times by Davis. And there's a player down over on the far side. Looks like could be Hannah Dawson over there, and it is. So we got a player down with 34.5 seconds left to go until halftime. Going to step aside here for a couple seconds. We'll come back when the game action picks up again. 20 on the shot clock for Brunswick as Douglas finally gets a whistle. So Shantae Douglas going to the free throw line. Looking for her first point since early on in the game, but she has 11, which tells you how her start went.
No, that's 8.
First free throw is no good for Shantae Douglas, who is shooting 75% on the season. After today's game, she'll likely be averaging that double-double. Right now, just a shade under 10 points per game. But 10.7 rebounds, shooting 46% from the field.
Good job.
Ties us. It's our first tie.
It's all of them.
That pass is tipped, but it comes out to Robertson, who couldn't get the jumper to go. Mitchell got the rebound and then threw it to the other team. Here is Evans with 4 seconds. Sarah Evans can't bank it, and that'll do it for a pretty ugly first half. 23 all. The Dolphins have some things to work on in the locker room. And we're going to take our usual break. We'll come back and bring you the first half highlights and second half action coming up here in just a little bit. Don't go too far. Rivera quickly into the forecourt. Dolphins have struggled from the three-point line, but Shantae Douglas wide open, and the scoring party starts with Brunswick taking a 2-0 lead. Starling fakes the three. The runner trickles off. Douglas, the putback. Yes, all 8 for Douglas here at the start. Here's a 3 by Glenn. Douglas is there again. Count it, and the foul. She has all 10 for Brunswick. Starling looking to push. Open look for Glenn for 3. Offensive rebound by Williams, and the putback is good. Starling now for 3. The three-pointer's still not falling, but Kennedy is there to clean it up. Now Rivera into the forecourt. Douglas is back in, swings it out. Open is Mitchell, and she buries it. Kennedy. Destiny, bounce pass over to Glenn for 3. Yes, finally one goes down for Brunswick to the front court. Swings it out. Davis fakes the 3. Takes it baseline, at it rejected.
Okay.
Dawson trying to get it in, just beats the 5-second clock. Davis up top.
Good job.
And it's taken away. Nice defense there by Glenn. Welcome back to Brunswick, everybody. Chris Shima, glad to be with you from the home studio in Ohio. 23 all, bit of a surprise. Brunswick taking on UNC Wilmington's club team. We had 1 tie, 1 lead change in that first half. Dolphins led by as many as 10. They led 21-11, 12-2, end of the quarter on the run for the Seahawks. I'm missing 2 points for the club team, so sorry. But I've got Hannah Dawson with 8, Kamia Davis with 7, 3 for Mallory Hurst, 2 for Jaden Cavadias, and 1 for Sarah Evans. For Brunswick, Shantae Douglas scored the first 11 points for Brunswick. She has 12 at the half. Glenn's got 7, 2 for Kennedy, 2 for Mitchell. That's it. The Dolphins, very cold shooting first half, and they did not come out of the – I told you it was going to be a bad time in the locker room. They didn't come out of the locker room until about a minute to go here at the end of the half. Neither team really did. As they start off with the steal, it's Glenn taking it away. Now to Williams. Back out to Glenn. Glenn down low to Douglas, who puts it off the glass and in. So that is a nice start to the quarter. And for Shantae Douglas, she's now up to 14 points here tonight. Amy Evans, cross court to Sarah Evans. Extra pass to Dawson, who's been hot. Couldn't get that to go, and Douglas has the rebound. Here comes Brunswick. Dolphins kind of methodically took that 10-point lead, then gave it up. Rivera gets a screen. Couple of fakes out to Williams. Now Douglas in the corner. Shot clock at 10 for Brunswick. Here is Williams over to Rivera. In the corner, it's Starling. Shot clock at 4. And Rivera gets fouled. If the shots aren't falling, attack the basket. And for Chelsea Rivera, she looks to get on the board for the first time here today. North Mech product. You see she hasn't been 100%. She's got that brace on her right knee, averaging 11 points per ball game, and a really good free throw shooter so far this season. As she gets the first one to go, came in at 88%. Also averaging 3 steals a game. So 1 out of 2. She fights for the rebound down low. The jump ball possession arrow will keep it with Brunswick. So Rivera, off her own miss, scrambles for the basketball. And an extra possession now for Brunswick. I'm not sure what these guys are talking about here. If there was an issue maybe with the possession arrow. Clock's at 20. That's where it should be. So whatever it was is maybe dinner plans. I don't know. Rivera blocked but fouled, so she'll go to the free throw line.
Don't be making a mess now.
Jemiah, how you feeling? I hope you're doing good. Jemiah Leach is on the YouTube chat. We got a couple of UNC Wilmington fans on the YouTube chat. Do they stream their games, the club team, when they play? I'm wondering if, like, the bigger schools like NC State would stream that. I know there's, like, I think they do a national tournament for club sports. And I'm sure those are streamed. I'm just curious. 1 out of 2 again at the free throw line. Offensive rebound. Starling was too strong off the glass. So Brunswick scores the first 4 points here in this second half. Into the forecourt, Amy Evans. Mackenzie Shilliday back out to Evans. Evans fakes the 3. Using the baseline, had it deflected out of bounds. She was looking for Isla Stark.
No, don't throw him because if it goes over, you lose it.
So Evans will inbound it for the Seahawks.
Hold on.
Evans, quick trigger, airballed it, comes right to Douglas. Now Williams pushing into the front court.
Yeah.
Starling attacks, back to Douglas, who's all alone. Beautiful offense for Brunswick there. Yeah, they got a talking to in that locker room. Hey, Jemiah, what's the halftime like when Joe's really mad? Give us the scoop. Rivera takes it away. Nice defense. Rivera down low. Glenn will back it out. So Glenn didn't like what she has. Rivera down low. It's Douglas again. My goodness. And 1 for Shante Douglas, who's up to 18 points. 18 of the 31. So UNC Wilmington's club team has racked up 3 team fouls in the first 2 minutes. Douglas misses the free throw. Rebound controlled by Kamia Davis. 7 points in the first half for Davis, who swings it out to Dawson for 3. Hit a couple in the first half. That one's an air ball. So Brunswick will get it back. A great start to this third quarter for the Dolphins. They can match their biggest lead at 10 or take their biggest lead with a 3-pointer. Douglas too strong. Follows her miss, and I think we might have a foul on the floor. It's a reach on Stark. So 4 team fouls now. Dolphins can get into the bonus early, very early here in the second half. Starling, bounce pass is off the mark. It's taken away by Sarah Evans. Davis into the front court now. Davis is fouled. Game 2 of a 7-game homestand for Brunswick. Dolphins at 1-2 so far this season. We'll be with you next Sunday. Fayetteville Tech off to a fast start this season. It's a 5 p.m. game time on the schedule. Trust me, it's going to be later than that. We got 2 men's games on Saturday and then 2 men's games on Sunday before the ladies' game. And those men's games now are minimum 2 hours. We're going to stay on this end of the court on the rebound attempt. It's off Brunswick. So I'm thinking more like 5:30, maybe even 6 o'clock for a start time next weekend. So just keep your eye on that. We update the actual individual links on YouTube. We'll update that throughout the day as the time changes. And believe me, it will. Stark with the inbound. Evans to Davis. Davis attacks. Ball fake. Too strong off the glass. Rebound by Williams. And then it's poked away from her. 3 minutes into quarter number 3. Dolphins on an 8-0 run. to start this second half.
Don't hit this. Don't hit this.
Here's Glenn into the front court. Starling is scoreless. Glenn was 7. Williams also scoreless. Douglas doing the bulk of the scoring for Brunswick. She's got 18 of the 31. Dolphins will have 14 on the shot clock here. Glenn for 3. The rainbow shot is good. Amaya Glenn, second player in double figures. So Glenn and Douglas now combined have 28 of the 34. And Brunswick on an 11-0 run. Now they get a steal. Here is Williams down low to Rivera. Can't scoop and score. And we got a foul on the rebound that's going to put Brunswick at the free throw line for the next 6 minutes and 17 seconds. A very motivated start for Brunswick here to start this second half. They have scored all 11 points here in the quarter. As Mitchell comes back in, some changes for UNC Wilmington. Reese Baldwin, number 40, is back in. Mallory Hurst, number 33, has come back in. And the first free throw for Williams is no good. Ashaya is still scoreless here today. So Williams gets 1 out of 2. She's on the board. Brunswick 12-0 run here in the quarter. Dawson throws it ahead. The pull-up by by Hurst was no good, and we got another reach. More free throws at the other end for Brunswick. A lot of bonus time for the Dolphins here in this third quarter as they start to assert themselves in a big way. Douglas with 18 points. She's at the line for 2. Has struggled from the free throw line today, but came in 75% on the young season. And buries the first one. So stuck on 19. Offensive rebound. Rivera tipped it. Mitchell came up with it. She's got the basketball out to Glenn. Glenn rockets it, and it's a 20-piece with some extra sweet and sour sauce for Douglas, who's got 21 in the game. Brunswick 15-0 run. Timeout, UNC Wilmington. Welcome back, everybody. Chris Shima, glad to be with you here tonight. Brunswick, 15-0 run to start the third quarter. Their biggest lead now is 38-23. We were tied at 23 at the half. Nice cut, but the bucket too strong by Camilla Davis. Rivera pushing. Rivera attacking. Rivera got hammered from behind. Chelsea Rivera going back to the charity stripe. As Brunswick continues this long run, really nice effort coming out here in the second half for Brunswick. I had a funny feeling it was going to be a more motivated group. And credit the ladies, they've responded. So Rivera, just missed that one. 3 out of 4 from the charity stripe. Camilla Davis attacks, spins, shoots, can't score. Rebound and putback was no good, but Kayla Robertson will go to the charity stripe. It's the first foul on Brunswick here in the third quarter. Chance to end the 16-0 scoring run for the Dolphins for UNC Wilmington. So Kayla Robertson swishes in the first one. First point here in the second half for the Seahawks. First point of the game for Robertson. 1 out of 2, Douglas with the rebound. Douglas has 21 of the 39 for Brunswick. Ball swung over to Glenn. Williams now. Here's Rivera nearest us, back over to Williams. 12 to shoot for Brunswick. Glenn on the wing, she'll attack, swinging out to Douglas, the midi. Off the back iron, rebound controlled by Baldwin. Dawson over to Davis. Davis doubled up, gets it out. Dawson's got a couple of triples. Missed that one, though. And the cold shooting start to the second half continues for Wilmington. Here's Williams into the front court. Bounce pass to Mitchell, and Mitchell gets the bunny to go. Second field goal for Destiny Mitchell. Came in averaging just under 5 points per ball game, 4.3 rebounds a contest as well. Freshman from East Columbus. There tried to disrupt that pass. Nice save, though, by Baldwin. The turnaround, Robertson got it to go. First field goal for Kayla. Glenn's got 10 points. Mitchell's got 4. Now Glenn over to Williams. Douglas out deep with it. Mitchell's defender went for the steal, left her open, couldn't get it to go. Rivera's got the rebound. Douglas had it blocked by Baldwin. Nice defense there by Baldwin, then she got fouled. 3:41 left to go here in this third quarter. And I believe we're going to have a timeout. Dolphins controlling the second half so far. They lead it by 15. We'll take a break. Come back here in just a moment. That's me, Chris Shima. Glad to be with you. Here we are at the home studio. Everybody say hi to Meepy. She's feeling neglected because I'm working here today. So there she is. And I think you could kind of see me in the shadows. There I am, looking like Jeff Van Gundy. And then there's the broadcast. And there's the video on the screen. And that's how we do it here in downtown Cleveland. Thanks for hanging out. Uh-oh. I screwed up now. Hang on. All right. That's my fault. We'll get the scoreboard up and going here in just a moment. But for now, yeah, every time I try to have some fun this weekend, I'm having the worst weekend that you can have. I'm telling you, folks, it just ain't working for me. All right, the commentary is going to be lacking for just a little bit, folks, while I fix my little blunder here. But those of you who have watched long enough know that the commentary is pretty much always lacking anyways. To the bucket, no good by Rivera. And then we got the tie-up. Jump ball is called. Check on that here. Dolphins coming up empty on this possession, but a good overall quarter for Brunswick, as they now lead at 41-28. There we go. The scoreboard is back. Brunswick has 2 players in double figures. Princess Kennedy in, drawing contact. Kennedy with 2 first-half points will go to the free throw line. Dolphins got into the bonus rather early in this one, here in this third quarter. Some changes for Joe Gaughan. Janice Smith has come into the game. So Smith, Kennedy, Mitchell, Rivera, and Glenn. That's the 5 on the floor right now for Joe Gaughan. 1 out of 2 at the line for Kennedy, then a reach from behind. That's team foul number 4 on Brunswick. Biggest lead today for Brunswick, 16 points. Right now at 14. Here's Davis, top of the key. Down low, they're looking for Baldwin. That pass had a lot of mustard on it. There were 4 defenders around. Another steal for Brunswick. So those steal numbers, 3rd in the region at 12 a game, likely to go up after tonight. Glenn to Rivera. Now Mitchell with it. From the half circle, Mitchell gets it to rim in. So Mitchell with 6 points. And Brunswick matching its biggest lead. Now a steal by Rivera. Rivera 3-on-2. Hesitates, attacks. Bounce pass looking for Mitchell, who had trouble with it. And that goes nowhere. So Dolphins turn it back over. But a much better effort here in this third quarter for these Dolphins. We were tied at 23 at the half if you're just joining us. 21-5 here in the third for Brunswick. Sarah Evans draws contact, and she'll go back to the free throw line where she's 1 out of 2 here today. Make it 1 out of 3 as she misses the first one. Dolphins in this long homestand. We'll be with you for all of them. So Evans with her second point, 44-29. Glenn to Mitchell, and Mitchell traveled with the basketball. Dolphins' block numbers should go up a little bit as well, averaging 2.7 on the young season. Douglas has at least 2 on her own here tonight. Stark in the corner. Up top, Evans for 3, no good. Long rebound controlled by Wilmington. Robertson swings it back out. Evans will try it from the left side. Can't get it to go. Another offensive rebound by Davis. And then on the deflection, we have another whistle. Final minute here in the third quarter, and both teams are in the bonus. Camilla Davis, 7 points in the first half. Rims in the first free throw. And gets them both. So I'm missing a couple of buckets again from the Wilmington team, but I've got Davis with 9 points. Kennedy is fouled by Robertson. So Kennedy, who hit 1 out of 2 moments ago, going back to the charity stripe. Princess Kennedy, 6 points, 3.7 rebounds a game. Gets the friendly home bounce. Kennedy now with 5 points here today. Brunswick by 15. Biggest lead has been 16 for the Dolphins. Down low, Stark. Turnaround is no good. About a 5-second difference game in shot clock. Rivera was pushing. Had her shot blocked. Now here comes Wilmington with the shot clock off. Evans gets it to go. Kind of fading to her left. Tough shot to make. Dolphins can take the final shot of the quarter now, leading by 13. Rivera to Smith. Smith pull up just inside the arc. Got it to go. And the bench loves it. That is Smith's first collegiate bucket. And it gives Brunswick a 15-point lead, 48-33. We'll be back for the final quarter here in just a bit. Welcome back, everybody. 48-33. Brunswick with the lead. We're going to go to 2-0 all-time against UNC Wilmington's club team. Again, shout out to the Seahawks for helping us fill out the schedule after Johnston Community College dropped out. The quarter starts with a steal by Rivera. Throw ahead to Glenn. Glenn the fake, waits and scores. Glenn's got a dozen. And the Dolphins have their biggest lead now at 17, 50-33. Almost another steal, and in fact, it's going to be a turnover. Sarah Evans with the foul on Glenn. Really impressive second half for Brunswick, who played about as miserable of a close to a half as you can have. They led it 21-11 at one point in the second quarter early on, and we thought, okay, methodically working the lead up. They weren't shooting particularly well. Then they gave a 12-2 run to end the half. Brunswick scored the first 16 points than in the third quarter, and now the lead is 17. Smith to the bucket, the flip no good. Smith is fouled. So Smith, who got her first collegiate bucket at the end of the third quarter, now goes to the charity stripe. So Janice Smith short on the first free throw. She's a local product from South Brunswick. And missed both free throws. Rebound controlled by Hurst. Here comes Wilmington. Facing their biggest deficit, they turn the basketball over. Looks like Dawson was wanting the basketball there, and Evans and her having a conversation. Into the forecourt now, it's Glenn. Glenn with a dozen. The runner is no good by Rivera, and then it's out of bounds off Wilmington. So we'll stay with Brunswick. Dolphins will be off for a week. We'll be with you again next Sunday for Fayetteville Tech. At the earliest, it'll be 5 p.m. next Sunday. Rocket pass is deflected. Mitchell recovers. Brunswick has plenty of time here. Glenn attacks, swings it out. Kennedy, no. Rebound by Evans. Here's Dawson over to Sarah Evans. And Dawson traveled with the basketball after she got it back. So Wilmington turns it over again. Dolphins, another opportunity to build on the biggest lead tonight. UNC Wilmington briefly took a 23-22 lead, but otherwise Dolphins have been in the lead, as the Seahawks now have racked up 3 team fouls in less than 90 seconds here in this final quarter. So a chance for Smith to get a little extra run here for Brunswick. We saw her at the end of the Bryan and Stratton game yesterday. Got the inbound to Rivera, who sets up, or excuse me, Glenn. Now Rivera to Mitchell. Back out Smith. Here's Kennedy. It's Rivera for 3. It's a 2-pointer. Foot was on the line, but Rivera now with 5 points. She's done a nice job defensively as well here, especially in the second half. Dolphins really brought it. Love the way they've come out of the locker room. Exactly the response I wanted them to have, as we have a foul called on Brunswick. First foul of the quarter on the Dolphins. Sarah Evans goes out of the game as Kayla Robertson comes back in for Wilmington. Chris Shima, glad to be with you tonight and all season long, as we're going to give free throws here to Dawson. Chance for her to get into double figures. She might be in double figures already. My stats are off a little bit for Wilmington, but I've got that as her 9th point. She stays on 9. Put back by Robertson was no good. Mitchell's got the rebound. Here comes Rivera. Throw ahead to Kennedy. Kennedy throws it up. No. Follows her miss. Had it rejected. Some nice post defense. Mallory Hurst got the block. Now she's posting up. She's got a size advantage over Mitchell. They go to her, and the flip shot is good. Nice read there by the offense for Wilmington. Hurst has 5 points. Lead is 16 for Brunswick. Catch and shoot Rivera for 3, maybe 2. It's a 2-pointer. So Rivera now with 7 points. Kennedy went for the steal, and Stark was open, got it to go, and we're going to get a timeout by Joe Gaughan. 16-point advantage for Brunswick, 3 minutes into the final quarter. We will step aside and come back here in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. Chris Sheeman here with you. 3 minutes into our final quarter. And earlier in the fourth, Brunswick briefly took its biggest lead at 19. Right now it's at 16. We've been in that range for most of the second half as Brunswick came out like gangbusters and scored the first 16 points out of the locker room. Shantae Douglas making us all happy in Cleveland with 21 points in the game. She's on the bench right now. Glenn with 12. Rivera's got 7. Mitchell with 6. Kennedy's got 5. 2 for Smith, 1 for Williams. How do you have an untied shoelace out of the timeout? Smith is ready now. Here is Rivera. Glenn out to Smith. Smith gets around the defense, can't bank it. Tip for the rebound. That's going off Wilmington. Dolphins get a new 20 here. Smith to inbound. Here is Glenn. And Amaya's going to the free throw line. So Glenn right at her season average, 12. Chance to build on that from the charity stripe. Wilmington's already racked up 4 team fouls. Dolphins got into the bonus early in that third quarter. Looks like it's going to be the same here in the fourth. Baker's dozen now for Glenn. You've seen my socials that I post, and I'll post highlights after every victory for the Dolphins this season. But I wanted to mention, too, that the Dolphins are on the gram finally. What's that handle? I know they've got, like, the longest social media handles in all of college athletics, but let me see if I can dig it up. If you search Brunswick Dolphins women's basketball, you'll find it. I haven't seen Cavadias for a while. She's in. Got it over to Evans, who couldn't get the 3 to go, and then a foul called on the rebound. So Rivera's hit the deck a couple of times on the rebound. Yeah, so it's full like Brunswick CC, then underscore, then women's basketball. That's the handle. Longest social media handles in college athletics here at Brunswick Community College with the women's team. But if you want to follow them on Instagram, I'd like to get a follow back from them. My God, can I just get to 100 followers, please? Here's Rivera at the free throw line. She's up to 8 points. Everybody's like, Chris, you got to do more with social media. You got to try more with social media. Every time I try, it seems like I lose a follower. I don't think anybody over 40 should be on social media, by the way. I'm 42. I got no business being on Instagram. But I'm on there if you want to follow me. People tell me it's important. 20-point lead for Brunswick. This is their biggest tonight. So we're inside 6 minutes to go. Davis gets it out. Baldwin back in. And the pull-up by Evans, we got a whistle. I think that might be away from the ball. I don't know. Maybe it was on the shot. We'll see if Evans... Looks like Evans ready to go to the free throw line, so it was on the shot. Sarah Evans with at least 2 points today. Hannah Dawson back in the game. Dolphins seeming content to rock with this lineup. It's Mitchell, Smith, Rivera, Kennedy, and Glenn right now. So both free throws are missed. Rivera's got the rebound. We are frozen in time. Time has ceased to exist. Let me see if we're having a little issue with the internet at the gym. Sometimes this is just a little reset on YouTube's end. We've gone back to 1950s TV, the pixelation. Let's see if I can tell who's out on the court while YouTube tries to get its act together. I'm pretty sure that was Smith getting it to, I want to say that's Kennedy driving. I don't know about that. All right, let me pause this for a second, folks. We'll be right back here. Give me 1 second. Got to fix the quality. Okay, all better now. We didn't miss anything either other than a missed shot by Brunswick, and then UNC Wilmington tapped the ball out of bounds. So Dolphins here at the midway point of the final quarter, another crack at it. Trying to build on their biggest lead. It's out to 20. After we were tied at halftime, Brunswick scored the first 16 in the second half and haven't really looked back since then. It's been a very good effort by this Dolphins team here in the second period. Douglas, assuming her day is done, will finish with 21 points. If you're just joining us, she scored the first 11 for Brunswick. Brunswick had a 21-11 lead early in the second quarter. Wilmington's club team went on a 12-2 run to tie us at the half. And then, as I mentioned, Dolphins flexing their muscles here in the second half. Coach Joe with a little mop-up duty, making sure Walter Shaw Court is squeaky clean. So 1 to shoot here for Brunswick. Going to have to go quick. Smith is going to inbound it now, and Joe Gahan going to set up a play. 4:45 left to go in this one. Dolphins in control. We'll be back here in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. As you can see, we're having a little issue with the quality of the video again. I I've been experimenting, and so far the experimenting has gone well with trying to bring the games to you in more real time. But what happens when you do that, there has to be some kind of delay for YouTube servers to be able to deal with the video going from Brunswick to YouTube and then from YouTube to you and me. If there's not enough of a delay, it can lead to some of these issues that we're having. So I'm going to fix this before next weekend. But fortunately, the game in control here for Brunswick. And we haven't missed much action during these little buffering issues and quality issues that we've had. On the tie-up, Davis will inbound it. 28 to shoot here for Wilmington. Dawson over to Cavadias. Evans spinning, turning, firing in and out. Ball tipped to Kennedy, who lost it, but Smith was there. And now Kennedy is fouled. So Dawson a little over-aggressive. Got to think some players are in foul trouble here for Wilmington. That's just the second on Dawson, they say, though. But both teams were in the bonus in the third quarter, and Brunswick has raced to the bonus here in this final quarter. So Princess Kennedy back at the line with 5 points here today. More shuffling for Wilmington as Sarah Evans checks back into the game, as does Mallory Hurst. Kennedy misses them both. Cavadias with the rebound into the front court, got doubled up. Hurst now, Davis rockets it down low. The air ball by Evans. And then Mitchell got tied up. Jump ball possession era will favor Brunswick as they inch their way to a 2-2 start to the season. Dolphins enjoying the biggest lead of the game, 58-38. Nashia Williams is back out there, so Williams and Smith in the backcourt, Kennedy and Rivera and Starling. Starling yet to get on the board. Everybody else has scored so far for Brunswick. So let's see if we can get Starling's name in the book. Kennedy's been attacking, and she's going back to the free throw line now. Brunswick looks to build on a 20-point advantage. Princess Kennedy. Fayetteville's Westover. Good program, and Kennedy a big part of their run a season ago. Missed both free throws, though. Free throw shooting was good yesterday. It was the lone bright spot against Bryan and Stratton. But today, the Dolphins have cooled off from the free throw line. Deep look, Cavadias. Tipped rebound comes to Hurst, and she is fouled. Mallory Hurst going to the free throw line. So Hurst with 5 points. Make it 6. If you were wondering why she was waving her arm in the air like that, it was a shot clock thing. So 1 out of 2. The putback is good by Davis. That's just a right place, right time there for Kamia Davis. 3:10 to go in the game. Dolphins going to even their record at 2-2, go to 2-1 at home. Again, here in this long homestand, these next 2 games are going to be big ones. Fayetteville Tech on Sunday, and then December 4th, that's a Wednesday against Cape Fear after Thanksgiving. So the rivals, Fayetteville Tech's off to a good offensive start to the season. They're always tough. We'll see them first, and then after Turkey Day, the Sea Devils, who I mentioned, beat Bryan and Stratton today. They won by 6. I think it was 62-56 was the final. I sped through it to check the score before our game. Evans throws it up, no. And looks like she touched it last, and the official agrees. Ball will go back to Brunswick. Got to get Starling on the board. Everybody else has scored. Led by Douglas's 21, Glenn with 14, Rivera with 9, Mitchell with 6, Kennedy's got 5, Smith with 2, Williams with 1. So Starling is their remaining holdout. She'll inbound it off the deflection here. Pass off the mark, but Kennedy was right there and then threw that pass away, and Cavadias never was quite able to gain control of the basketball there, so we'll do it again for Brunswick. Now the shot clock is at 30. I guess they say possession change there, so Dolphins get a fresh 30. Smith, entry pass deflected. Shilliday for 3, an air ball, and it's going back to Brunswick. Kennedy attacks again. This time she's got a field goal. Kennedy was 7. Brunswick by 19 again. Cavadias backs it out. Shilliday. Calling for it is Evans for 3. Sarah Evans' first triple. She's got 5. 60-44 as we approach a minute to go in the game. Smith will try it. Yes, she's got her second field goal. So Smith, who was previously scoreless, buries another one. She's got 4 today. That 3 is no good. Shilliday, offensive rebound. Ball goes out to Evans, who attacks, and she'll go to the free throw line.
Let's go, White. Pick it up. Way to the end.
So Dolphins will have probably one more shot attempt. Again, the only player who hasn't scored today is Starling. So Evans stuck on 5 points tonight. Before we wrap up, again, shout out to the folks with the club program at UNC Wilmington for, again, provide bodies on the court after had an early season game get canceled. Dolphins going to win for the second time against this club team in 3 seasons. All right, Starling's got the basketball. Let's see if she can get on the board. The runner is an air ball. I was wondering if it was deflected, but so that will likely do it. Dolphins don't need to shoot again. We'll see what Wilmington does here on their final possession, though. Robertson swings it out to Davis. Now a turnover. Kennedy gonna push. Kennedy throws it up, and she'll go back to the free throw line with 14.8 left to go. Kennedy was 7, so no shot at double figures here, but had her problems earlier this season from the free throw line, so an opportunity here in Game 4 to get a lot of free throw attempts and get into rhythm, and you see her get the first one to go. 1 out of 2. Stays with it. She's going back to the line. So no intention on dribbling it out here for Princess Kennedy with a 18-point lead. She's looking for more. That was the 5th foul on Camilla Davis. She departs with 11 points for UNC Wilmington as Robertson comes back into the game over these final 13 seconds. So now Kennedy with 9 points and can get into double figures if she can get this to go. Missed it. Cavadias into the forecourt. Chilliday for 3, got it to go. So Brunswick wins it today by a score of 64-48. An ugly start, but the Dolphins handle their business here in this second half and dominate UNC Wilmington's club team. Brunswick improves to 2-2 on the year, 2-1 at home. They are 0-2 in the region. We'll be with you again next Sunday again as this 7-game homestand continues. Fayetteville Tech, approximate start time, 5 p.m. next Sunday. Come on back for that one. Until then, my name's Chris Sheeman. Enjoy your week. Take care. Thanks for watching.